Module Overview. Module 1, Foundations of Abstract and Conceptual Art, is an immersive and richly layered entry point into the intellectual, philosophical, and technical dimensions that underpin both abstract and conceptual practices in contemporary art. This module serves as a critical framework, examining the evolution of form, idea, and meaning, moving away from literal representation toward inner vision, theoretical constructs, and the deconstruction of traditional artistic norms. The module introduces you to the early catalysts of abstraction and the seminal shift toward idea-driven art, distinguishing between the visual emancipation of abstract art and the theoretical provocation of conceptual art. It explores how 20th century thinkers, artists, and sociopolitical movements shaped new ways of creating, interpreting, and experiencing art. It encourages you to challenge conventional aesthetic standards, critically evaluate the purpose of art, and lay the groundwork for a self-reflective, idea-centered practice that prioritizes intellectual engagement, emotional resonance, and experiential form over decorative or representational outcomes. 1. The departure from representation. Historical context, academic realism, and the dominance of mimetic art before 1900, rejection of realism, the need for a new visual language post-industrialization, the impact of photography on painting, and the shift toward abstraction. Second, the emergence of abstract art. Abstract pioneers, Hilma F. Klint, Wassily Kandinsky, Piet Mondrian. Symbolism, spirituality, and theosophy as preconditions for abstract thinking, line, color, shape, and rhythm, as tools of emotional and metaphysical expression. The rise of abstraction in response to scientific, technological, and existential change. Third, philosophical foundations of conceptualism. The influence of philosophy, Wittgenstein, Derrida, Foucault. The dematerialization of the art object, Solowitz, Paragraphs on Conceptual Art. The supremacy of the idea, Joseph Kosuth's Art as Idea, and the Critique of Objecthood. 4. Aesthetics versus anti-aesthetics. Redefining beauty, form, and function. The aesthetic autonomy of abstract expressionism versus the anti-aesthetic stance of conceptualists. Conceptual art's attack on commodification and market-driven art. 5th, the role of the artist and viewer. The shift from creator to thinker, artist as philosopher, viewer interpretation as a creative act. The art experience as dialogue and proposition, not object consumption. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you will trace the historical evolution from realism to abstraction and conceptualism. Understand the philosophical, cultural, and emotional motivations for abandoning representational art. Distinguish between abstract and conceptual art through theory and practice. Engage critically with texts, manifestos, and artworks from pivotal art figures. Begin developing a personal visual or conceptual language grounded in purpose rather than appearance. Studio practice, exercises and reflections. Abstract mapping. Exercise. You will translate a complex emotion, e.g., grief, nostalgia, euphoria, into a non-representational visual composition using only shape, color, and space. Conceptual prompt challenge. You will develop a written idea for a conceptual piece using only language, no physical object creation, exploring text as medium and art as thought. Reflective journal. Daily thoughts on what it means for art to say something without showing something. Prompt. If art is not about what you see, what is it about?